Going to meet our next guest here today. So we're just talking during the break. I noticed I should mention, so Demi, you're now how old are you, 16 or 17?
I'm 17.
17. And you're going to Dawson.
Yes.
Wow. You know, my producer, sitting right here, Dean, almost graduated from Dawson.
Almost.
Yeah. So, it's kind of a little alma mater thing here today. Let's talk about your experience here. You're here with your mom and dad. Guys, thank you for being here. Mom, why don't you start off? So this goes back, again, it's one of the very much a similar story to what we've heard. You have a 17-year-old daughter now. This happened when she was 6 weeks old. What happened?
We came to the Montreal Children's at 6 weeks old. We had gone to the pediatrician for a regular checkup. We had just given birth to twin girls, and the pediatrician had heard a murmur. And just to reassure mom and dad, he says, I'm going to send you over to the Children's just to have her rechecked. And we went the next day. Actually, I managed to get an appointment, and we came in, and they started running all types of tests. And I had left her twin at home, and my husband ended up going to work. And when they started running tests, they were 45 minutes of doing an echocardiogram on her. And at 6 weeks old, the baby is small. And so I asked the technician, the doctor at the time, and I said, can I just step out and call my husband? And he looked at me and he said, yeah, I think you should. So at that point, we knew there was something that wasn't right.
And then, if I read through the notes, here's a little 6-week-old baby, and the next thing you know, you're having 12 hours of surgery. So I can't imagine as a parent here what's going through your mind. And I'm sure when you got the phone call, Dad, saying, hey, listen, this is more serious than we thought, a little sense of maybe panic set in?
For sure. I was at work, and when I got the phone call, I didn't know what to think. I got into my car, and I rushed to the hospital. And sure enough, when I got to the hospital, I saw everybody's faces, and at that point, I knew it was serious. And at that point, Dr. Dancy, her cardiologist, told us that she wouldn't be going home that night.
The last thing any parent wants to hear, right? That your child is not going home that night, your newborn baby. What was the surgery? I mentioned it was this was open heart surgery.
Yeah, she was. They had brought us into a room, and there was it was a couple of doctors. And when they had told us that she needed to do emergency open heart surgery, my first response was, "You guys are crazy. I'm leaving. I'm going to get a second opinion." And Dr. Dancy at the time, he had told us. He said she doesn't have time for a second opinion, and she was scheduled to do open heart surgery like less than 12 hours. It was less than 8 hours. I think she was diagnosed at 1 in the afternoon, and they were taking her away at 7.
That is the first time I've heard anyone I've talked to today describing when a doctor said, we're going to have to do something that has to happen now, and your reaction was, I don't want to accept this. I want to go somewhere else. I can't believe this is happening.
Yeah, because,
right?
I had a regular pregnancy. The twins were born at full term. I had to be induced. And actually Demi was the bigger twin. Usually twins are small, and she was over 6 pounds. So being told she's being taken away from you, and you had to trust these strangers, complete strangers. You're putting a 6-week-old that you don't know who these people are, and you're handing them over to them, and you're trusting, her life in their hands.
And how was so? You're looking at open heart surgery on your child, and you're waiting. 12 hours is a long time for any kind of procedure. What was going through your mind at that point?
Well, the fact that it was taking a really long time, we were nervous, we were scared, we were thinking of the worst case possible, the truth is, the surgery went according to her surgeon well, but she had some complications. She had cardiac arrest, and at that point they had to leave her unclosed. She had swelled up, so they could not close her chest. So that was the whole delay that happened. So she stayed in ICU with her chest open.
For 10 days.
For 10 days.
My mind is boggled. I can't even begin to understand that, to fathom that. With her chest open because
she had swelled up too much. She went into cardiac arrest.
Her chest. They couldn't close her chest. She had gone into cardiac arrest.
Yeah. Wow. Let's fast forward. Obviously, everything ended up going well. Your daughter is sitting here in front of us today, but the story is not over here, right? Because this is going to have to continue. What happens next?
Well, the Demi has Tetralogy of the Fallot, so when they did which was a hole in the heart, and so they repaired the hole, but they had to remove her pulmonary valve, so she doesn't have a pulmonary valve, and from the way it was explained to us, it's basically the door that closes when the blood goes into the heart to get cleaned. So she doesn't have one right now, and we're here once a year. They monitor that, and she's growing well, so she will have to do another open heart surgery. It might not be here at the Children's to have a pulmonary valve put in.
So we've been talking all about you without talking to you.
Yeah.
So tell me, first of all, in hearing all this, you obviously knew later on what had happened when you were born, and now you're facing a situation where you will have to have another surgery. How are you with this? Are you? Is it tough to think about?
At this point, I think of it as, even though I have this condition and everything, I look at it as they saved my life, and I look at it as a good thing, and that not everybody gets a second chance at life, and the fact that I did I'm grateful for it, because I know that there's many kids out there that come to the hospital, they get diagnosed with everything, and then later on they're not able to leave the hospital because they're in so much danger. So the fact that I have this condition, and the fact that I have a full-on scar and open heart surgery, and the fact that I'm still alive today and I'm able to go about my day without having to worry about me being in the hospital, of course I'm going to be grateful, because many kids go through it and it hurts.
You're a little bit of a miracle, aren't you?
I am.
She is.
Yeah. You've also taken it upon yourself, I understand, to do some fundraising for the Children's too, right?
I do. Every year, we started a fundraiser called Follow Your Heart, the Demi Fund. We do a fundraiser almost every single year, and every year we raise money, and it goes back to the Montreal Children's, the cardiology department, and honestly, I'm just grateful that we do it, because it can help others, and it can help so many children that need the money to get better and be able to live their life how they want it.
I'm going to get you to say what I ordinarily would say here, which is try to encourage people to make a donation. But I think you, having lived through what you've gone through, could probably say it even better than me. Why is it important to call up and make a donation today on the Caring for Kids Day?
Nobody understands what the feeling is like to have a heart condition, or to have any type of condition, and to be put in the hospital for many weeks. So until you live it, you'll never know what it's like. And obviously not everybody can live it, because you have to be grateful for what you have. So even though you don't know what it's like, everybody should realize that it's a really hard place in life. It's hard to know that you don't know how long you're gonna be alive for. You don't know if you're gonna be okay. And honestly, all the money that is given, everyone's grateful for it. Because if you give money, you can be saving a child's life.
Yeah.
You can be saving, that money can go into getting the certain medication that is needed to save a child's life. And nobody understands that until you actually go into it.
Until it happens to you.
Yeah.
Exactly. Demi, I want to thank you, and guys, I want to thank you so much as well
you.
for joining us this afternoon. We're going to close with this today. This is our final interview. But to Demi's point, you don't know it till you need it. And when you need it, this is the best place in the world where you can get that kind of treatment. That's why we ask you to make that donation today, and do it now.